affecting cellular networks.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Bachelor Happy Hour. I'm Joe.
And I'm Serena.
And we are back with the first recap of the first episode of Grant's season of The Bachelor. And it's really nice to be back recapping The Bachelor because to me it's the best show.
Yeah, I feel like we love our between season time. It's a nice refresh for us. We get to do some holiday episodes. It's always fun, but getting back into the routine of getting to watch an episode every single week, getting to recap it, getting to interview someone, it's just nice. And I love The Bachelor out of all of the shows, Golden, regular Bachelor, regular Bachelorette. I think I get the most excited for The Bachelor. It's also at a great time. It's like seasonally terrible out, and I'm always ready for like a new show.
Yeah, and their energy is like, I feel like all the women, their energy is like really high on night one. So yeah, it goes well with the depression of the beginning of the season and the cold weather, and it's like, all right, we're back. It's a new year.
Yeah, and it's good. Like glamorous. They're in LA. It's warm. It's nice. I also think I just fully lost my train of thought. Sorry.
Nice. I'm glad you're here with us today.
a few road bumps, guys. Getting back into
this
it.
This is gonna be an easy one.
Apologies. Oh, I know what I was gonna say. On The Bachelor, the women come in so like vibrant and excited, and they're not afraid to like exude that emotion of what the excitement, why it's exciting and how exciting it is to be there on night one of the show. Whereas the men just don't come in with that same level of enthusiasm. I feel like they always come in a little timid, a little cautious. Like, what have I gotten myself into? What's going on?
I mean, I think The Bachelor is a better show than The Bachelorette, personally. But I will say, like, what would you rather watch? What do you think's a better first episode? The first episode of The Bachelor or the first episode of Bachelor in Paradise?
Oh, that's so hard.
I mean, we're a little biased because that's kind of where we met, and that's the only show that I've actually been on. But I will say the first episode of Bachelor in Paradise is pretty hard to beat because there's men and women.
It's very hard to beat. I agree with you. It's very hard to beat because there's so much more unpredictability in the first episode of Paradise than in The Bachelor. Like The Bachelor has a very traditional, consistent structure. There's going to be a few surprises, but for the most part, it's like familiar and it's comfortable and it's exciting for that reason. Like, kind of what you're going to get. But Paradise, every single episode, first episode of every Paradise season is going to be like pretty different because it's just different people. And it's also like cast members that you already know and are familiar with and excited to see again, versus there's like a learning curve on The Bachelor of like getting to know these people other than the lead.
And what's nice about Paradise is they are taking these like year breaks where then you get excited to like watching this first episode of The Bachelor. I was like, oh, Paradise is actually going to be exciting this year. There's a lot of people now that they could pull from. So I'm curious to see, because there's a lot of girls from this season, and I was like, this person will be really good in Paradise. But it's only episode 1. We don't know who Grant's going to pick. We don't know who's the next Bachelorette's going to be, even though personally...
True. We have a whole Bachelorette season before Paradise.
Yeah, and personally, I'm already seeing what I believe is a Bachelorette edit for someone. I mean, it's early.
There's definitely one girl that she got a lot of screen time. There's definitely a connection. It feels like it's going towards maybe a Bachelorette moment. I don't know. Do we want to call it out already? It feels kind of early.
Well, let's talk about it mid
we'll get into
episode.
it.
Okay. First up, we have Grant's intro package.
Yep. For those of you who maybe missed it, Grant's from Houston, Texas. He's 30 years old.
He was getting emotional a little bit when he was talking about wanting to find this person.
He really strikes me. Maybe we say this for every Bachelor, but I don't actually feel this about every Bachelor, but I do feel this about Grant. I feel like he's really ready and he genuinely is like on the hunt for a wife. You know what I mean? I feel like some Bachelors, it's like, I see a long engagement in their future. Like I see a couple moves, a couple trips, a couple things before we actually like walk down the aisle. I feel like Grant is like, no, I want to start this next chapter of my life.
I'm not saying he's not ready by any means. I don't know him that well.
Yeah.
I will say this. I think he wants to be ready,
Yeah.
but I don't think that necessarily means that he is. And I think that's going to be,
We're going to learn more about if he actually is or not as the season goes on.
yeah. And
You're
even
right. I think a lot of people come into this show like, I'm ready. And then when push comes to shove, it's like, but are you? And they're like, maybe I'm not. We see him chat with his mom, his sister, his dad. He gives his first rose to his grandma.
we meet his whole family. I like the intro package. I find it to be very necessary. Like, I already know more about Grant than I did from Jen season. Just in like,
Do you?
oh yeah,
Like what?
I think we see.
I felt like it was more just like a refresher of what we already knew about him.
Oh no, I think we see a more. I think the show does a good job of showcasing his vulnerability. I think you see that in the intro package where I don't necessarily think you like with Grant. Grant was somebody when they picked him to be the Bachelor. In my head, I'm like, it makes sense because he's a handsome guy, and I could see a lot of women being into Grant. So that's good enough. Like, to me, that's
The
good.
bar for men is so low.
I think that's kind of good enough to be the Bachelor, but I don't necessarily know if I saw that. Also, I don't know. I mean, Gen season was a while ago, but just maybe it is just a refresher. But I already am like, okay, Grant now to me is the Bachelor.
Right.
Where when he got announced as the Bachelor, Joey was still the Bachelor. Now
Right.
it's Grant.
Yeah. I get that. I also think he didn't make it to hometowns on Jen season. Their relationship was definitely
Yeah, we don't
like,
meet his family.
Yeah, we don't meet his family. His family is gorgeous, very attractive, beautiful family. And just seeing him engage with them, I think you learn more about him. You feel closer to him. It definitely, the intro package, I think on every season for the lead, does a great job of setting the tone for like, this is your Bachelor, or this is your Bachelorette. This is who they are. This is their story. And, you know, let's go.
Yeah, I agree. So we roll up to the mansion. Grant's a little nervous. He's doing like a little moonwalk with Jesse, trying to just feel a little more comfortable.
Jesse is so good with the leads. He really is. Like, his ability to just converse with them and he has a comforting presence. Like, I feel relaxed when he's on screen. I feel like it's all going to be okay. And I'm not even the lead.
Well, I think it's easier for Jesse because Jesse was the lead at one point. So like I think he really just knows, like, he's connects with them and knows how they feel, especially someone like Grant who's an ex-athlete.
Yeah.
And so is Jesse. So he's probably like really able to connect and be like, yeah, I know how you feel. You just got to loosen up because you're a nervous wreck right now, but you're going to be fine.
Yes. And I also think Jesse, like, in the last few years got married. He just had a little girl. Like, it's like, come with me to the other side. Like, you could be me in a few years. Like, you could have all this, but you're not the hosting gig, just, you know, the life.
Wow, come with me to the other side. I don't know if I got all that, but I like it. I'm with you on it. Okay, so first out of the limo is Rose.
Yes, and honestly, from the headshots, I wouldn't have predicted her to be the first out of the limo. I know her first name is Rose, so like maybe that was a dead giveaway, but she didn't really pop to me when we did our headshot like bios, but she really shined in this episode.
Yeah,
I thought she was fantastic.
Yeah, I really liked her. I was like, oh wow, I like this girl. We didn't really talk about this girl. And granted, we only get so much when we do like the bios and the headshots.
Yeah, we don't know.
There's always going to be people that we miss, and she's one of the people that I feel like we miss she was captivating, very likable.
Yeah, very confident,
very
relaxed.
warm. She also looks really familiar. Like, she's from Chicago, and I feel like I definitely have seen her before. You know, I said I saw Jordan from Joan season, and I was like, I know.
Yeah, and you were right. So maybe you're right about her too.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
You said you're like, I feel like I've seen her like at a bar that we go to a lot and stuff like that.
Yeah. She looks really, really familiar.
Chicago is like a shockingly small town for you. Like, I feel like you are 1 degree of separation from every other person that lives there.
Maybe. Maybe you always say that, but
You just know you have you cast a wide net. You know a lot of people. I think just because you have a massive family and also a big friend group.
Yeah.
So it's like a lot of people are accessible to you, and you've had like 3 different lives living in that city. So you have like random connections from like you have like buddies in the produce market, and then also like people from The Bachelor.
Yeah. They get the more the show goes on. I'm like, the longer I do this podcast, like
You're like, do I know everyone in Chicago?
Yeah, like truly.
All right, so Rose was a strong start.
Yep,
getting
Rose,
back to the cast and not the community of Chicago.
And we've come to the realization that I know everyone in the Chicagoland area.
Yes. So next we have Latia. She has an intro package. We learn about the fact that she is Mormon. Her dad passed away in a car wreck when she was 3 months old.
Very sad.
She's great. She popped for us on the headshots. We predicted that she was going to go far, and I stand by that.
She is. It's so funny because there's sometimes we get people completely wrong in the headshots.
We usually always pick like one night, one girl.
And Latia is
exactly
what I thought she was going to be.
Exactly what I expected. Like we couldn't have been more bang on with her.
Yeah. And I stand by what I said. I think she's very confident, and I see her being there for a while.
They look good together.
Yeah, I see her being there for a while. She's not somebody that like she did make out with Grant in this episode.
Oh
right?
yeah, we'll get to all the makeouts. Okay. I have little kiss emojis next to all of their names.
To make planning the perfect beach vacation easier, Beachbound launched the perfect beach find.
Well, not
right, but here's the kicker. You can get
extra other restrictions.
Planning, no matter your budget.
Podcast, he didn't share some of the moments that he overcame to forge ahead.
Let's just kind of jump through some more of the entrances that stuck out. Carolina.
I wrote down the women that I thought stood out of the limo.
Okay, yeah, let's go through some of them.
So Carolina's another one.
I have her next to insane dress, very, very unique dress, which I always love to see. Speaks Spanish, from Puerto Rico. I feel like you said this, and I agree with you. She has like a similar air and energy that Maria from Joey season did.
Yeah.
And we all know Maria has like this natural star quality. She like shines on television, and I feel like Carolina has that quality, or is like presenting that way as well.
Yeah. Alicia, she really popped.
Yeah, she did the genie in a bottle entrance. I thought was really cute.
She really popped, and she was somebody that I didn't really. The bio headshot. I don't think we really talked about her too much.
No, we didn't. I think she's beautiful. Her headshot's
really,
great.
Really pretty, and just really, really calm energy up there.
Yeah.
Like I was like, okay, she's good.
Yes.
She's good.
Yeah. Grant actually seemed more nervous than most of the women did, which I feel like is so rarely the case. I feel like the lead usually seems nervous, but the women or the guys coming out of the limo seem so nervous. This group of women was very confident.
Well, they're all around the ages of they're like between the 27 and 30 mark. I would say the majority of them.
Yeah. If not, like a few of them are like older too.
Yeah, so I think we have I think we're skewing on for Grant women above the age of 27.
Yeah.
Where Joey's season, there was definitely girls that were, I would say we probably skewed under 27.
I'd say we skewed under 25.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am biased because I went on the show at 22. I got engaged to you at 23, right? Which is young. I'm not trying to say I wasn't super young. I was younger than I was the youngest person on our season of Paradise. But I think because of that, my personal bias is like, there's no difference, like just because they're young doesn't mean that they are like, less secure or less ready or less confident. And I think that this season might be proving me wrong in that assumption. I'm not saying like every girl under the age of 25, but like there definitely is an energy difference. And just specifically in like the self-assurance in these women and the way that they carry themselves does feel really different than what we see in younger casts.
For sure.
Do you agree?
I agree, but
And I've been
but it's
resistant
also
to feel that way, but
yeah. You always fight that, but there's also yeah, you are a very mature 23-year-old, and like I compare myself when I first went on Becca's season and I was 30. I was very immature. Like there's no way, even on Becca's season, that like I was ready. Like if I would have lasted on Becca's season, there's just no way I was ready to get married.
Yeah.
Like so, and I was 30.
Yeah.
So I do think it's always, it's the person, but like what we are just seeing a lot of women on the season that are 28, 29 who are just very confident and just seem very mature, and it seemed like they, at least off of the first episode, it seems like they all know what they want.
Yeah, we're seeing less of this like, and I like this too for a different reason, but like we're seeing less of the like silly, giddy, giggly, nervous energy that we get maybe more so with a younger cast, and more of this like it seems like there'll still be drama, but like the women just seem more confident coming out of the limo, more commanding, more self-assured, which I think is great. I think it's nice to have a tone change for every season. I think after Jen's season with, we had a younger cast and a lot of craziness and a lot of maturity, this will be a good shift.
We'll see though. You never know.
I think they're still going to be chaotic.
Alex with the llama.
No drama llama.
She
so
was
random of an entrance.
It was a random entrance. She's really pretty, and I was like,
she has a quirky personality that could sell something like that. Like she fully committed to the bit.
Yeah, like that could have went really bad. Like it was kind of going a little rough.
The whole time I was on the edge of my seat of like, all right, is she going to stick the landing? Where's this going? How's he going to take this? And then when she walked in the house, I was like, okay, no, she pulled it off.
She made it work. And I think that's a good sign.
Okay, but for now, I think we can move on from Alex. We do have her coming on as our first interview of the season this week. So be sure to stay tuned for that episode and check it out. We're going to talk about all things No Drama Llama and First Impression Roses.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk to her because I like to figure out who she is,
Yeah, she's a Canadian gal.
Yeah.
Any other quick limo entrance standouts?
I thought Juliana. I thought she really stood out.
They also played like romantic music when she came out of the limo.
Yeah, she's the one.
Always a giveaway.
She's the one, in my opinion, where if she doesn't end up with Grant, she can. I'm getting an early like sense of potential bachelorette from her.
Yeah, she's the one that Joe and I were kind of like, something about this is giving like she goes far, but I don't know if I see her being the one to end up with Grant. I see her more as being the next bachelorette.
I think it's too soon to tell.
Yeah.
But I mean, he seemed to have, honestly.
He says a lot of connections.
He seemed to have a lot of connections, yeah.
What do you think of Bailey's entrance with the social media photos and her being like, can you take some photos of me?
I thought it was a good break. I thought it was fun. I thought she had like young, fun energy. I could see that rubbing a lot of people, like a lot of viewers, the wrong way of like, she wanted him to take photos of her. Like, what is, like, I could see that. Like,
yeah.
She's definitely.
I think it was a risky move.
I was actually very surprised that she got the first conversation with him.
Yeah, me too.
I didn't know, because it didn't really seem like he was super into her intro.
Yeah, I didn't know how to read her intro. I was like, this is a risky play. It could go. I feel like I need to get to know more about her to judge the intro. But then she did that really cute little like wig bit with him, and I was like, oh, okay, it works. It works. Like she's very silly. She's very playful. That's like, if that's the place that it's all coming from, like I'm totally with it.
I think she's very likable. I like her, and I think she brings a good energy to the show. And I do feel like, from what we saw, we have a lot of similar personalities where she's an outlier.
Yeah, she's a little bit more goofy than some of the girls we've seen, which I like. The only other two I wrote down, I mean, we skipped over a few, but we can circle back to them later. I thought the big head was kind of funny of an entrance.
Who?
Serafina. She came
Oh,
out
I
with
like
like a big
Serafina
head
too.
cutout, which I thought was kind of cute.
I actually thought she was one. She was one of the. What did I put on her on my notes? But she was one of the women that I thought came across very well. She shined a little bit during this episode.
And then Zoe is in your top 4 predictions from the headshots, and she did the t-shirt gun, which I liked only because it was just really creative. Like, it was a bigger entrance, and I would literally never think about doing something like that in a million years.
Yeah, Zoe. I think Grant's into her, and I think it all makes sense. I don't know how she's gonna vibe with the other women because it seems like she could be someone that's.
She's got more of like an edgier personality. Yeah. She's not as warm as maybe some of the other girls come across. Really quick, we have to talk about Taylor, Grant's sister, making a cameo appearance. This kind of feels like a different version or a callback to Charity's brother coming and being the bartender.
We love adding siblings into the show these days.
Yeah, we do.
And also, I also watched. I was like, thank God, all the women talked about how pretty she was.
Well, she's beautiful.
Yeah, but like, thankfully they weren't like, "Who's this ugly bitch?"
I think if the show thought people would respond that way, there's a good chance they wouldn't have done this.
But I liked seeing his sister there. I thought, and you seen him like smile. I thought, and it was a good way to like shake up the girls a little bit. You saw him immediately get jealous. Like immediately.
Alicia was freaking out.
Yeah, immediately like, this is our territory. We are the women. Don't add any more women on.
Which is so funny because like they've only been there for a few hours.
They've been there for 5 minutes. All of it, like it's when you pop a girl in episode 6,
even like 3.
Okay, even 3, I get it. Night 1, like chill out. Like they should. If I were the producers, I would have watched the women's reaction to that and think, okay,
we got to get some new cast members in midway because these girls are gonna freak out.
Yeah, next season, let's drop some people. Night 2.
Well, they did that on my season.
Yeah.
It went really terribly, but like, you know, as you would expect, having watched how these girls reacted after seeing a girl come in like 3 hours late.
I don't even think wait till. I think do it all in the same night, but maybe do the
like late limos.
Like late limos. Like
you get an early shift and then you get a late shift.
Yeah.
Honestly, this didn't really work for me, the sister thing. But I think it's one of those things that like if you're a woman there and you don't know it's his sister, it definitely is a fun and emotional twist. But as a viewer, because we'd already met her in the package and they weren't showing the face, I immediately knew it was her.
Yeah.
Like I immediately put 2 and 2 together. I was like, well, it's the sister. It's obviously the sister. So it just didn't hit for me in terms of like anticipatory twist, you know? I think it was more for the contestants.
Yeah, I wanted it to be an X. I wanted it to be an X.
An X is there's never ever a time I don't want to see an X show up on this show. Like it's one of the more exciting things that happens. But I thought it was cute. She did a little like presentation on her brother and like the sibling bond, and we love that.
Yeah, I think it's great.
Do you think that Taylor should go on Paradise or like on another season?
Oh, wait, is she single?
I don't know. I'm assuming so.
I mean, if she's single, no, I don't think she should go on Paradise. I don't think you just get to jump into Paradise, but
you don't think we should start opening Paradise up to siblings?
No.
I think they did it. Didn't Ashley I bring her sister down one year?
Yeah, but I don't think I think her sister was there more like a. Oh, I thought she was more like there as like a what is it? A pet?
An emotional support.
Yeah.
You thought what's her sister's name? Lauren. Lauren was Ashley's emotional support animal.
I did. Okay. I mean,
maybe it was a little bit of both.
No, I don't think we should start throwing siblings into like a space like Paradise. I think Grant's sister seems wonderful, and I think she could definitely get cast on the next season of The Bachelor if she wanted to go on it and she was single. That makes total sense to me. I think if nobody from Grant's season is good enough to be the lead, maybe. But just to throw her in Paradise, I think is not the move.
I agree. I personally think going on the show, there's a learning curve, and to throw someone into Paradise that's never been on the show when every other person's been on the show, it puts them at a slight disadvantage. I also would rather see them pluck someone that went home night 1 or week 2 that was great. I would rather see that person get a second chance than a sibling who's never been on the show. And I just think that being on The Bachelor, The Bachelorette, other than, obviously there's always like an exception to the rule, but I think traditionally I like that being a prerequisite to be on Paradise.
And I think Grant's sister would be at a little bit of a disadvantage in a place like Paradise because a lot of the guys down there are Grant's friends,
Yeah.
and they may feel it inappropriate to
go for his sister.
Yeah. So like, but I mean, majority of the times they'll still do it. But I can see that being a little bit of an issue.
Yeah, I would rather see, if we're talking just siblings in general and specifically Taylor, I would rather see her as a contestant on The Bachelor than get a free ticket to Paradise. I'd rather they pluck one of the girls that went home night 1 on Grant's season and give them a second chance.
When was the last time, have they ever done that where a sibling got cast on a following season?
Of like Bachelor, Bachelorette?
Yeah.
I'm sure we've seen siblings on the show. Have we not? Carly Waddell, who ended up with Evan Bass on Paradise.
Oh, her? Oh, her name's Carly? Her name's Carly?
Carly and Evan?
Oh, okay. Oh, wow.
Carly Waddell's a sibling of a ex-contestant.
Okay.
But
so they haven't done it in a while.
They haven't done it in a long time.
They haven't done it in a while.
Oh, Aaron Erb.
Aaron Erb.
We had Noah Erb and Aaron Erb. Okay, so we've had a few contestant sibling situations. Maybe not a lead sibling.
Yeah, but I don't think Aaron wasn't on the show at all for Noah's season.
No, because Noah didn't make it to hometowns.
Yeah.
But we should get some more siblings on. That's fun. Let's do it. We're doing parents on Golden. Let's span it out to the siblings.
Yeah, or get some. Yeah, or you could even take some of the children of the Golden people.
Yeah, let's put some kids. Let's make this super incestual. Not incestual literally, but like let's keep it in the family. Let's keep recasting.
Let's take it easy. All right, that's getting crazy. All right.
To make planning the perfect beach vacation,
Only free on your entree
Count or scan QR code.
with Pearl by Rewards and more.
Escape. And of course, company.
Like best night one.
Was the Grant's speech? Then my favorite part of the episode.
JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. Member FDIC. Copyright 2025. JP Morgan Chase & Company.
My favorite part of the episode. Why are you smiling?
Well, no, I know what you're going to say. I thought you were going to be talking about Grant's speech, and I was like, what did he say in his speech? But I know where you're going with this.
Was the Grant's speech? Then all the women go in the house. Grant gives a speech. That was all.
What did you think of his speech? Good?
Yeah.
I liked it. I thought he did a good job.
Yeah, I think it was just like, hey, I'm here.
I want someone to rank like best night one speeches.
Well, there's never going to be a lead that gets up there like, all right, I don't know. Like,
no, I mean,
I'm
they're
ready.
prepared and rehearsed,
Like,
obviously.
I want to see a bachelor come up and just be like, I don't know if I'm ready, but like I'm attracted to a bunch of you.
That would set the tone so badly.
Yeah. So let's see how this goes.
No, his speech was great.
The cat girl, Parisa, with the PowerPoint presentation was quite funny.
Oh my God, that was so funny. I was dying, mostly just because like Grant and her were on totally separate pages about what was happening, and like she was obviously doing a bit, and I think he was like trying to figure out what was going on. I don't know. I just really enjoyed it. I thought it was like both like hilarious and awkward.
His reaction, I love when he said, I was amazed that you really did that. and then we just ended the scene.
And that's the end.
Then we ended the scene. Yeah. And I was like, that was really funny. And as the episode goes on, we're definitely seeing more of Grant's personality.
Yes. I think his personality is coming out more and more. Shall I read off the names of the girls he kissed, which is basically everyone?
Well, read off the names of the girls he kissed, because I do think besides just kissing them, there was certain girls that I thought he had a really good connection with, and he seemed to be really into.
He did, but unfortunately for him and the girls, that's like a lot of them. You know what I mean? Like, I think he has a connection with a lot of people. I think he gets along with a lot of people.
I think there was like six. There was like six girls that I was like, okay.
Yeah, okay, I guess. But 6 is a lot because that's only from what we saw. For all we know, there's like a couple sleepers in there too.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like usually after night 1, you're like, okay, he likes like these 2 or 3 girls. And
see, I think it's way more likely for him to be where he is, and I think it's more enjoyable as a viewer.
I think it's more enjoyable too. I prefer it. I just think it results in a messier season because he's just like such a sweetie lover boy.
Great. Okay, who?
Okay. 1, Alicia.
Who I think he really likes.
I think he really likes her. I really like her.
Yeah.
Great interviews. Very beautiful. Very sweet. Juliana.
Same. I think he really likes her. Actually, yeah, I think he really likes her.
He did. I wrote down, actually, he said to her, I've definitely got my eyes on you, though. I like your personality and you're beautiful. He's very direct and like clear and concise with his intentions and his compliments towards the women, which I love.
And midway through their conversation, we cut to a package of Juliana's like family and like their Italian family, and they sing like karaoke. Like karaoke in the car, or
carpool karaoke.
Yeah.
My God. You really went for it with like no information or certainty about what you were saying.
It's kind of the story of my life.
He didn't kiss Carolina, but he basically said in his interview he wanted to kiss her, but he felt like she wanted to take things slow, so he didn't. But like basically expressed that like he would have.
And she was getting emotional talking about her family.
Yeah. Latia. They made out. She made a joke about like, where's the car seat going in the Ferrari, which I thought was kind of funny. Alex.
Yeah.
Kisses there.
So Alex, llama entrance, compared to all the other entrances, I was like, she's gonna be there. She's gonna stick around. But I didn't assume that she would get the first impression rose from what I saw
from the conversation of like the French lessons.
But no, once they had a conversation, and that was one of the first times I saw Grant really relaxed with her.
You did say that.
I was like, okay, he is really.
Well, she's such a big personality. She's obviously going to make an impression coming out of the limo because she's so vibrant. And then I feel like because she's a yapper, he was like, this is nice. Like, she can kind of carry this. I can just enjoy myself. And it was they have a good like personality matchup. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's one of the first like true signs is when you see the lead relax.
I agree.
And feel comfortable. And that was the first I've seen him all night with her.
I agree. Vicky, he kissed. She did the little like bottle service bit. Zoe, he kissed, which we talked about earlier. She did the t-shirt gun. Rose.
Zoe's. I'm pretty sure. I think for my top 4, I'm pretty sure I said Zoe's gonna be who he ends up with.
You did.
And I actually still stand by. I still stand by that.
She might, yeah. And then Rose, he kissed. She did the ghost moment with the clay where they made each other like clay rings. Those are all the kisses that I have recorded. I wouldn't be surprised if there was more that we didn't get to see. I'm not against a lot of night 1 makeouts. I just want to be clear, like, this list isn't meant for judgment. It's just meant for data.
Yeah, I think Grant's going to have a really tough time when we get into the later rounds of this season.
He's going to have a lot of overly confident, very jealous women very early on if he keeps this up.
You said that to me when we were watching the episode. The way he's speaking to the women is making them feel very confident in their relationship with him already, and that's going to be an issue.
Yeah, like he's not holding any cards close to his chest, and he likes a lot of them, which I get because it's a really great cast. I think we have a lot of great contenders for Paradise from this cast. And I'm excited for the season, but like it's easier on him, I think, and the women if he likes less of them. Or at least is like more restrictive with his feelings. I think a lot of girls left night one being like, oh my God, he's meeting my family for sure.
What would you want if you were the lead? Would you want there to be, out of a cast of 25, first night 10 people that you were really into? Or would you want it there to be like only like, you're like, okay, it's really between these three, and kind of know that night one?
I'm not a lover girl. Like, it takes a lot for me to have a crush on someone. And when I do like someone, I'm pretty like tunnel vision. So I think you could give me like 25 of the best guys out there, and there would still only be like, I only have it in me to be really obsessed with like 4 max, you know? Like, I'm just never, but I think it's hard because I like to flirt. So I would probably very like flirty with a lot of them. But when it comes to being like vulnerable and really like intentional with the reassurance that I'm giving, I think I would withhold that for the people that I really felt like, you know, moving into week 3, 2 or 3, I was like, I really see something with this person. I would be more restrictive with my vocabulary when it came to like, I really like you. I think you're beautiful and amazing. And I connect with your personality, and I'm excited to get to know you more. Like, that's an amazing thing to say to someone on a first date, but it's a really hard thing to say to someone when you're saying it to 25 first dates. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think he's almost compartmentalizing each relationship a little too much right now.
Wow. I don't think you're wrong. I don't think you're wrong.
I think I answered like 4 questions that you didn't ask, but
You did, but everything you said makes a lot of sense. So,
okay, Alex gets the first impression rose.
yep.
We're going to talk to her. So I don't think we need to get into that too much. Overall, I think it wasn't totally a surprise. She was definitely like in the running for it in my mind.
After their one-on-one conversation, not surprised at all.
And then when it came to the rose ceremony, the first rose of the night went to Latia.
Mm-hmm.
Next one went to Rose. Next one went to Zoe. And we sent home...
Do it.
3.
Do the whole cast.
Nope, can't do that.
Yeah, who did we send home?
We sent home 7 girls. The only one I was maybe like a little surprised. They were all great, just like based on like screen time and connection. I was a little surprised about Janae, maybe, because we did see her entrance. Like, she was like the 3rd one of the limo.
Yeah.
And Savannah, she's someone that I'm like, if there was a different lead, I don't know if we would have seen her go home this early.
Well, I think we'll at least see one of them in Paradise.
Yeah, we usually see one. You know, there's usually one night oneer that gets cast in
Nisi
Paradise.
was in your top 4.
I know.
Now you're top 3.
I don't know if I've ever picked a top 4 that didn't have someone that went home night 1. I think I always have someone that goes far and always have someone that goes home night 1.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm nothing if not consistent. But I like that it's a smaller cast too. It's just way more manageable.
Yeah.
Like, we only had 25
Opposed
women.
to 30.
Perfection.
Yeah.
We don't need... My season had like 37 women.
That's crazy.
Like, too much. Too
That's
much.
crazy.
As a viewer, you know, I like 25.
Me too.
Because leaving night 1, I feel like I got a vibe of everyone except for Kylie, who I don't think we saw one time.
Even like usually the first couple episodes, I need the face sheet because I'm like trying to remember who everyone is.
Yeah.
But even just talking about majority of these women, this first episode, I already
I feel like I know a lot of their faces and names.
Yeah. All right. Well, that is episode 1. We hope you guys enjoyed the recap, and make sure you stay tuned because we are going to have the first rose recipient, Alex, on Bachelor Happy Hour.
And twist in the plot, she also has the first one-on-one date of the season now.
Forgot to mention that, but yes.
What did you think of that?
I like that.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know if I liked it.
Oh, I love it. There's more stakes. And it forces the lead to really be like, I actually need to put some thought into this because I'm going to spend more time with this one person right away, and this is the beginning of my journey, so it's gonna kind of be like that's an important decision.
Yeah, and I also feel like the first impression rose recipient usually then gets backburnered until like a week 4 one-on-one date because they got such early reassurance. So it makes the first impression rose more desirable because I feel like it doesn't come with like that con of, oh, well, now I might have to wait like weeks for like real time with him.
Yeah.
Like it's almost a double-edged sword getting the first impression rose usually.
Yeah.
But
now you want it.
you have a target on your back, but like literally who cares?
Yeah, you should really want it.
Yeah, you want it.
Let's raise the stakes.
I like the first impression rose twist as well, just because I think it spices up the first impression rose by adding those stakes, but it feels aligned for the show. Like the Leia twist with the card and the power, like it just didn't align with Bachelor. It just felt really forced, and like it didn't work at all. It didn't translate, it didn't get used, whereas this feels fresh but still
On brand.
true to the show.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so we're going to have Alex on later this week. We're going to see more of her next week's episode, so be sure to keep tuning in to Grant's season of The Bachelor, and don't forget to subscribe to Bachelor Happy Hour. Thanks for listening. Bye.